What is up YouTube and welcome back. It's Mandarin Metal and today we are on F1 23 and we're heading over to Spain. We're going to have a nice little race out in Spain. We want to put the horror show of Monaco behind us. We don't want to think of it. We want to move past and hopefully at least achieve a much better result than what we did last time. Now we are bringing a few upgrades that weren't ready for Monaco. We're bringing them to Spain. Hopefully we can perform a little better and the car handles hopefully a lot better than what it did in Monaco. And what's also good is that this track isn't so tight. We have more space to move around in the car and it's not as technical as Monaco, and it's just going to be a nice track to drive. And the first practice program that we are going to hit is your track acclimatization. Now with these laps you're going to see I'm using two different camera angles. Now I'm not going to lie to you, the first camera angle wasn't so hot. I actually struggled quite a bit with this first camera angle. So what we did is we changed the camera angle to cockpit view, and the lap times that we started getting out of this was absolutely amazing. I felt one with the car. It felt like we could actually attack the corners and we could attack the lap and just achieve optimal lap times. But on that note, I want you guys to leave a comment down below. Let me know what camera angle you guys prefer looking at. Do you prefer the cockpit view, which is this view over here, or do you prefer the one that we used in Monaco and at the start of the track acclimatization? I think it's called your TV pod view. I might be wrong, but those are the two camera angles that we are looking at using. But let me know which one you guys prefer, so yeah, I can adjust it to your guys' liking to make sure that you can have a better experience while watching these videos. But now, getting back to the Spanish Grand Prix. We're attacking the lap, we're hitting the track acclimatization, and if you are new to the channel, what this means is that we have to hit these corner gates perfectly. We need to hit them at an optimal speed to ensure that we get the best lap time possible. Now, the best lap time that we've set so far on the hard tires is a 1:16.4. And after achieving that lap time, we were fairly happy with the practice program. We decided, you know what, let's head back to the pits. There's nothing more we can do now. And I'm looking at the pace and we're actually put in a very decent time considering where we're on the hard tires. We're currently running in P9. So let's go out on the soft tires. Let's see if we can attack this lap and achieve an even faster lap time at Spain. Let's have a look. Let's ride on board as we head around the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, turn 3, we're going to keep it clean. Approaching turn 4, you're going to downshift to 4th gear. Kind of keeping it tight and trying to carry as much speed as you can into that corner. Approaching turn 5 and then turn 6. We've just put in the fastest first sector. Now approaching turn 7, you're going to brake over here, downshift to 4th gear, hopefully get a good exit. You don't want to push the revs too high, otherwise you're going to feel a little bit of lag with the car. Up into 8th gear, another heavy braking zone over here, go downshift to 3rd gear, you get the best rotation with 3rd gear, I felt. Now approaching turn 12, it's a nice long turn, and you're going to approach turn 13 and 14. This is setting you up for the long straight. This is going to be your DRS zone. You're going to have your DRS wide open right about now. I didn't hit it, I was a little late on the DRS, and where does it put us? It puts us 3rd. We put in a 1:12.2, which is not a bad lap time for practice 1. But again, this is just practice 1. We don't care about this. We care about points. We care about getting a good qualifying position to score as many points as we can in the race. Okay, as you can see, I did go out for another lap. I set a 1:14.7, not a bad lap time. And now what we are going to do is, heading into practice 2, we're going to focus on a race pace, and then we're going to focus on another quali lap. We don't have another quali program, so what we're going to do is we're going to replicate it ourselves. But looking at our race strategy, we were achieving very good pace, and this actually gave me a lot of confidence for our race. I thought, you know what, we could actually be in for an amazing Grand Prix. We're currently second on the leaderboard. The lap times were just really good for this Grand Prix, and I am very excited to have a look at what we can achieve in the race. Now, when you look at our tire wear, we weren't too hard on the tires, so it was quite close, but we used a little bit of extra fuel than what we would have liked. Now let's look at our quali sim lap. We're replicating this ourselves, guys, so let's have a look. Into turn 1, heavy braking zone. You're going to go down to 4th, keeping as much speed as you can from that straight. Hopefully Ocon will move out of the way, and yes, he does. Up into 6th, keeping it nice and tight, approaching turn 4 now. Heavy braking zone, again, you can ride. If you carry enough speed in, you can go into 5th gear like you see I'm doing, and then you're going to hit this braking zone and you want to downshift all the way to 2nd. It's going to give you the best rotation on the car. As you can see, we are currently now 6/10 up on our previous best. We have set the fastest first sector. I had a little bit of oversteer there, but approaching turn 9, you want to stay in 6th gear because you want to get a good exit for this straight. DRS open, up into 8th gear. Now you can see we are currently almost 7/10 up on our previous best, setting in some good sector times. So let's have a look at turn 12. Going into turn 13 and 14, this is going to be the best part of the track. This is going to set you up for this long straight. Hopefully you get a good exit here. Downshift to 6th gear, it's going to give you the rotation that you need on the car. DRS wide open, and where does it put us? It puts us 2nd. We are 1.8 seconds down from Magnussen. What? How did he achieve a 112.5? This has to be a glitch. We had put in the best lap time we possibly could have. How did he do a 112.5? 1.8 seconds. The difference between myself and Magnussen. Let's just have a look at these lap times because that doesn't make sense. A 112.5. That is bonkers. Okay, so now we can see he's put in a 20.7 in the final sector. This has to be a glitch. But let's move on from it. We're heading into qualifying. As you can see, the end of qualifying, it is going to rain, so it is going to make our lap a little trickier because we are running a dry setup. Hopefully we can perform well at Catalunya. Going into qualifying, guys, we are looking good for a potential pole position, but that's only if we are able to perform in the rain. Let's have a look. We are going to go out on a dry set of tires now. We want to go out as quickly as possible. We don't want to get caught out in this rain. Let's ride on board for our first flying lap for Q1. Now, approaching turn 1, heavy braking zone. You're going to keep it in 4th gear. Turn 2, get a good exit here. Turn 3, shift up to 6, and now you want to keep it clean. You don't want to run wide there. Up into 7th gear. Approaching turn 4. Downshift all the way to 4th, but I run a little wide and it's not good, but we have just set the fastest first sector, but that's fine. Approaching turn 5, heavy braking zone, downshift all the way to 3rd gear. Carlos Sainz has just put in the fastest lap of qualifying with a 114.9. Approaching turn 7, then turn 8. Get a good exit here so that you can nail turn 9. Don't brake too much. You want to carry as much speed as you can into turn 9. DRS wide open, approaching turn 10. Heavy braking zone, downshift all the way to 3rd. You get a good rotation on the car. Approaching turn 11, then 12. Trying to keep your car stable through these 2 corners. Approaching turn 13. This is going to set you up for the start-finish straight. Downshift to 6th gear to get a good exit out of turn 14. DRS wide open, and we cross the line, and it's a 113.9. What an astonishing lap from us. What a lap. We put in a 113.9 and it is 9/10, almost a second faster than the Ferrari drivers. And we hit the jackpot because it had just started raining, so no one could go out and improve their lap times. What a lap by us, guys. And now heading into Q2, it started to rain. We need to get out because there is a forecast of heavy rain. Let's ride on board for our first flying lap of Q2. The rain brings its own set of difficulties because your braking points that you've learned throughout the dry sessions is completely changed now. So you want to kind of just gauge while you're driving to see where you can improve and where your braking points will be. And we do set the fastest first sector of this lap. And yeah, like I said, it just depends because the braking points change. Your acceleration also needs to be spot on because you don't want to have any wheel spin. You're gonna ruin your lap afterwards. So let's have a look. Approaching turn 9, we want to keep it clean. 6th gear, downshift to 5th gear, making sure you get a good exit here. Then you don't get DRS, unfortunately. Approaching turn 10, heavy braking zone, trying to keep it nice and tight, trying to still gauge where we need to brake and how to nail these corners, but it's looking like a good lap. We haven't put in the fastest second sector. Sergio Perez has put in a lap time of a 1:21.4. That is our benchmark. Are we able to achieve it? Approaching the finish line. Where's it going to put us? It puts us P1. We've set the fastest lap of Q2 with a 1:21.2. What a great lap from us. We head back to the pit lanes. I don't think we're going to go out again because you know what? This is looking like the best lap of the session. It started raining heavier, so we didn't go out for another lap. It means heading into Q3, we are potentially looking at a possible pole position. This could be our best starting position since the beginning of the year. But only time will tell. We need to get past Q3. Are we able to achieve that lap time that we need? Let's ride on board for our first flying lap of Q3. And Carlos Sainz is breathing down our neck. Are we going to have a repeat of what happened in Monaco? Let's put that behind us. Let's focus on this lap. Turn 2, trying to get a good exit. Turn 3, making sure we keep it nice and clean. You don't want to run wide here because you're going to kill your lap time. Approaching turn 4, heavy braking zone. You want to brake a little late while carrying as much speed as you can into turn 4. Get a good exit out of turn 4, approaching turn 5. Another heavy braking zone, downshift all the way to 2nd. As you come out of turn 5, you want to straighten up the car, making sure you don't run wide. Approaching turn 7, downshifting all the way to 3rd gear. It's just going to help you with that rotation. Then turn 8, approaching turn 9, you're going to downshift to 5th gear. This is also just setting you up for this straight. Upshift all the way to 8th gear. At the end of the straight, you're going to brake very late, carrying all that speed into this corner, downshifting to 3rd. Here at turn 11 and turn 12, trying to keep it nice and tight. You don't want to run wide here. It's going to destroy your lap time. Approaching turn 13, trying to carry as much speed as you can into turn 13, downshift to 6th gear, setting yourself up for the best possible exit out of turn 14. And where does it put us? It puts us P1. We are on provisional pole with a 122.1. Is that going to be enough for us to keep pole position? Sainz is 2nd, Russell is 3rd. And again, we had a saving grace. Lady Luck was on our side. The rain got heavier. So that means we are on pole position for the Spanish Grand Prix. Yes, look at how close we were. If the rain had not come at that time, we possibly could have lost pole position, but we've managed to secure it. We've set ourselves up for a great Spanish Grand Prix. We're bouncing back from Monaco last week. Let's head over to the Spanish Grand Prix.
Welcome along everyone to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Iceman lines up on pole position. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Hamilton, Ocon, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Russell, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Albon, Joe, Magnussen, Gasly, Fittipaldi, and Logan Sargent. And now it's time to head down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Iceman. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
And there you have it, guys. That is the classification for the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, let's have a look at our tyre strategies. We have two options. We have the softs to mediums or the softs to hard. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the soft to hard. I think this could be a good strategy. And we're about to start the race. It's 5 lights and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. We get an amazing start. Carlos Sainz has just dropped the position. His teammate has gone up into second and we are keeping the position at the moment. No one is able to overtake us. Braking hard into turn 1 and running a little wide. It's not as clean as I would have hoped. We want to try and break the DRS zone, that when DRS is activated that they cannot get near us. But we need to nail the first lap of this Grand Prix. Let's have a look. Turn 4. Again running a little wide. This is not good for our first lap. Charles Leclerc is right behind us. He is 2/10 behind us. Then comes Sainz. Then it's Max Verstappen and then Sergio Perez. That is rounding up the top 5. We need to manage our tire temperatures. We also need to manage our tires just a little bit in this race. We want to go as long as possible on these soft tires. We need to make it to lap 13 if we want to put on the hard tires. We don't want to repeat of our previous races. But luckily, with the upgrades, we did bring in some tire wear upgrades. And this is what's going to help us with our tire management. Now, Charles Leclerc is still way too close to us. We are trying to increase the gap between ourselves and Charles Leclerc. But the first lap not going away as planned. We managed to keep P1, but Charles Leclerc is only 2/10 behind us. It means that he's going to have slipstream, and with ERS, he will be able to overtake us if we don't try our best here. Now, Sainz is under pressure from Verstappen, but we managed to still hang on to P1. And we see there is a yellow flag behind us. We don't know what's going on. It means that some sort of incident has happened. But what is going on? Sergio Perez is out of the Grand Prix. Sad for him, but good for us, because now we know that he won't be able to attack us later on in this Grand Prix if our pace does fall away. Lando Norris does end up taking 5th spot. We weren't able to increase the gap to Leclerc, which means that the Ferrari driver is able to attack us, and he has just taken the lead of the Grand Prix. We weren't fighting that too hard because we know that if we can stick with him, he's either going to carry us through this Grand Prix or we can attack him on the next lap. Now going on to lap 5, he wasn't able to break away from us, so we are going to attack him now. DRS is wide open. We're going to be late on the brakes. Almost running completely off the track there, but keeping it clean. This is his viewpoint. And we have now just taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Yet again, we are running in P1. Now on lap 8, Max Verstappen had attacked Charles Leclerc and he just overtook us. This is not what we wanted. What a party pooper. But it's not over. We can still stay with him. As long as we are still in his DRS zone, we can make sure that we don't lose that. Now going on to lap 13, we both decide to box and hopefully we can jump him here. Maybe we get a better pit stop than him. We're hoping for a slower pit stop from the Red Bull mechanic. But we know the Red Bulls are usually good with their pit stops. Let's have a look at if we can nail our pit stops. The pit stops haven't been that great, and yes we do. This is the optimal time. Now we don't want to stand too long. We get a 2.3 stop, but we just held a little longer and we are going to lose time. But how much time have we lost to Verstappen in the pit lane? He is now currently 2.7 seconds ahead of us in this Grand Prix. We were so close just that little mess up from us meant that he was able to get a better pit stop and get so far ahead of us. We are attacking Hulkenberg now. He is not going into the pits. He is staying out quite long, which means that we will get DRS going onto lap 15. This is going to be a piece of cake because we are on fresher tires. My teammate is into the pits. Lando Norris has just come out, lays on the brakes, diving down the inside of Hulkenberg. Up next is Stroll. Verstappen, 1.4 seconds ahead of us. These cars in front have helped us just ever so slightly to try and get closer to him. Approaching turn 4, Stroll is going to be a little bit vulnerable here because we are on the fresher tires. And then going into turn 5, we can see how much closer and how much more grip we have than Stroll. We are able to overtake him right here at turn 7. What a move on Stroll. Now going up into turn 9, we are currently 2.1 seconds from Verstappen. We are going to push as hard as we can. We are on the medium tire, so it means that we can push a little harder. Everyone else has just come into the pits. We'll see now where they are placing. Verstappen has just put it in a 115.7 and they are not able to secure any extra positions. We do keep second spot. Norris finishing the top 3 and Hamilton and Leclerc finishing the top 5. That is the classification for lap 16. Hamilton and Leclerc are battling it out and there's a lot of action behind us. Going on to lap 18, we are almost within DRS range of Verstappen. We started getting quicker and quicker, but we were just not able to catch him. He was just a little quicker in some of these corners, in these sequence of corners, especially in sector 2. He managed to keep us out of his DRS range. At this point of the Grand Prix, all we need to do is we need to try and manage our tires. We need to manage the gap to the guys behind us and not focus too much on Verstappen because we still have Norris, we still have Hamilton, and we still have Carlos Sainz that could potentially take second spot from us. Our tires are still looking good. Now on lap 30, the guys behind us were fighting very hard for the final podium spot of the Spanish Grand Prix, and we were just managing our gap. As you can see now on lap 32, we are 4.6 seconds ahead. We get blue flags, but it is not for us this time. It is for Logan Sargent. He needs to move out of the way for us. And that means now that he is a lap down in the Spanish Grand Prix. Starting our final lap of this Grand Prix, we are 2.9 seconds behind Verstappen and we are 4.9 seconds ahead of the guys behind us. This means that we could potentially keep second spot if we don't make any mistakes now. We need to keep it clean, make sure we nail every corner, do anything silly that is going to jeopardize us securing a P2 in this race. Let's have a look. Going to turn 4, keeping it clean. I had a snap of oversteer there. We managed to save the car, which is all we needed. Getting a good exit out of turn 5. This is setting us up for turn 6 and turn 7. Heavy braking zone. Try not to ride the curb too much. And what do? We run over the curb, which means that we have floor damage. This means there is damage to the car. And what could this mean? Could this be a potential race ender? The guys behind us are catching us very quickly now. We've just lost a second and a half to them. We need to manage this pace now. We can't make any other mistakes, otherwise they will overtake us. Hamilton is 3.7 seconds from us, now 3.6. We are going through turn 13, now turn 14, approaching the finish line. We will secure P2 in the Spanish Grand Prix. What a great race. The car was phenomenal today. What an amazing result for us after a couple of bad ones. And we just give Max Verstappen a little love tap there. Max does win driver of the day. And that is our Spanish Grand Prix. Hopefully this does give us the confidence for the next couple of races, because it felt good. It felt good to be on the top step, and we just could feel the upgrades of the car that we brought to this Grand Prix. And there's your classification. Max Verstappen does win the Spanish Grand Prix. I came in second, and Lewis Hamilton comes in third. Great performance from everyone. Max Verstappen does have the fastest lap. We are currently 6th in the Drivers' Championship with 58 points. We should also have 58 points in the Constructors' title, which means we are currently 6th. But guys, that is it for our Grand Prix today. That was the Spanish Grand Prix. We are now on the charge. Our upgrades are working for us. And hopefully we can achieve some more good results. But guys, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Cheers, guys.